because I'm not a socialite. No, no, I don't just hop in and out of Ferraris and do all that. I thought socialites had a little bit more going on than getting in and out of Ferraris and then get mad when he get a new bitch that he actually claiming. Because he wasn't claiming your ass in no pictures because he wasn't even in no pictures with you. And this is LalaMadness. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Fierce Review. And in this episode, I'll actually be talking about Porsha, who is engaged to Real Housewives of Atlanta Castmates husband. And then now, with the additional news, a side piece steps out after that. So, you guys know where to reach me at all social media platforms and podcasting, YouTube, all that stuff. LalaMadness. IG is LalaMadness_official. Now, let's get right into it. So, if I don't know who all has been watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. I actually did not. I usually watch it, but this season I don't know what happened. I didn't even tune in at all. Apparently now they supposed to be getting ready to do the reunion somewhere about, and I didn't. Yeah. Anywho, so Phelan actually was introduced this season. So you know, on December 20th, she was introduced then on that episode. And that was, she was supposed to be like Porsha's friend, and then, she actually said that production told them to act like they knew each other as an icebreaker to introduce Phelan, which then we find out later she didn't know her prior to that. So they did know each other. They weren't friends. So Porsha did clear that up a little later on. But in this case, Phelan during this season did announce that her and her estranged husband Simon, who was actually worth about $40 million somewhere thereabout, he's a businessman, that they were actually getting a divorce. So Porsha announced that her and Phelan's estranged husband have been in a relationship for the past month, which would be since April at this point. We're in May now, so just for those that may be watching later. And that then the thing is, and she also, too, Porsha did say that she's not the reason for their divorce. She wanted to make that clear, that she claims that they were already separated, done, and in the midst of filing or divorced during that time before they actually got together and got engaged. Okay. He did, Simon himself, go on to confirm the reports as well. Once Porsha posted about it, which I'm sure they were in cahoots and decided together to post about it. I post first, you post afterwards, but let's post kind of deal. So he did confirm as well, and that they were in a relationship, but then he added that they were engaged. So he took it a fucking step further. It was like she did the prequel, he did the goddamn. Okay, as far as in his post. So she did, after that, shared a lot of pictures of her, Dennis, and Simon actually all getting along. Simon was lighting Dennis's cigar and all that, where they were out. They're having dinner together. They're in a bunch of pictures together as like a throuple. But they're not a throuple. But okay, I guess they're just co-parenting, which is good because it's always bad when, people separate, they get with somebody else, and then now it's a like, especially depending on how they separated, it could be nasty or whatever when, they have to deal with the children or whatever, which is petty as hell, but some people do. So it's good to see them not kind of having that situation. So I guess whatever man she's going to be with, if it is Simon, then in that case, the co-parenting with Dennis will be okay in that sense. And we'll get into a little bit more backstory with Dennis and a little bit more as well as Porsha's background, so you guys can kind of have a clear understanding. So, now, she's been getting a lot of heat, so, from this situation. After that post came out, you knew that was going to be, people started boo-hooing to Phelan, poor thing. She was kind of trying to defend herself as far as Porsha and the situation, saying it wasn't prior to, it wasn't until after they separated, and all this about how she basically had nothing to do with whatever went on, and she waited is what she was trying to make it appear. But who knows and who doesn't? We don't know. I don't know who Phelan's friend was that I don't know who her plug was to get her on the show, because I didn't watch this season because I was very not interested, and I see that I didn't miss nothing. This came out. Okay. Anywho. So now, since then though, okay, she did actually get a spinoff show that I believe is supposed to be 3 parts or something that they're working out right now, that I guess has been worked out, and they're going to start filming on that so she can have her, and that basically will, I'm sure, involve Simon, conveniently. Interesting. So at the end of the day, the timeline though, is that in April, when she claimed that they got together. Okay, so there's a side piece, Jessie Cakes _ XOXO, as far as on IG. She posted that on her IG that she was with Simon, and then posted a picture in his Ferrari, supposedly, allegedly his Ferrari, with the interior that only 3 of those Ferraris have in the country, because it's like a special custom made limited edition, only 3 release period. Which explains why it's $330,000 worth of a vehicle. Now, so it's kind of hard to say that that's not your vehicle when it got to be only you or 2 other people. I'm just saying. And if them 2 other people ain't in Atlanta, then by God, I don't know what we gonna get from that. But anywho, now the timeline though goes into April, when Porsha claims that they got together. So she changed her caption, Jessie Cakes, because she had that on there as far as just Ferrari, as far as the caption initially when she posted the picture of herself in the alleged car of Simon's, right? Just Ferrari as far as the caption. Now, she changed that after these reports came out to say, he moving faster than his car. Once the announcement was made by Porsha, that was the post that it was changed to. The same picture, just changed the caption. Somebody salty. That's what that sound like. But anywho, Jessie Cakes actually claimed to still be communicating with Simon up until about 2 weeks ago. Which, that would be a fucking blunder, because 2 weeks ago he was apparently supposed to be with Porsha. And she also claims that she was with him in April. So that their timelines are conflicting, and somehow it's not adding up, and she was still messing around with him. Another post showed as well a comparison of a jacket that was in the car, in Simon's car. And the one that Simon actually had on, in a different picture that I believe was on his page, they're the same damn jacket. So unless he got, hopefully his jacket is not custom made too. Or like a limited edition, where like only a small amount of people have it, because then we have to narrow that down too. We got to narrow down the Ferrari and the jacket in it. At this point, that's his damn jacket and that's his car, and that's my opinion. I don't have nothing to do with what, that's what it sounds like to me. So at the end of the day, Porsha had the nerve to even respond to a tweet before deleting it. She said, "Hi, girl, bye. Who's left? But that's a nice bag, though. I'll have to give me one. Hashtag it wasn't me." And that was before she realized that the post was not about her. This came from a blogger or someone on Twitter sharing the tweets, or sharing the pictures rather, of the girl claiming that she was also with Simon and in his car recently. So being that there was a purse and then there was a jacket that they were doing a comparison of, she thought it was saying it was about her. So she goes, hashtag it wasn't me, but the bag is nice. So, oops, when you think somebody talking about you and they ain't, and then you got the boo-boo face, that's what happened. So now, she actually went on as well to say, how'd you find love while you were over there whipping me around in that Ferrari going 100 miles per hour and my fucking hair all over the place? Got me looking crazy in these pictures. How you do that? I don't know either, because girl, I'm trying to figure out how. I mean, no offense, it sound like that, what's her name? Somebody XOXO. It sound like, I don't know if you was selling pussy. They call her a socialite. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, what socialites do. They just go around from here to there. And so, I don't know what that really consists of, because I'm not a socialite. No, no, I don't just hop in and out of Ferraris and do all that. I thought socialites had a little bit more going on than getting in and out of Ferraris and then get mad when he get a new bitch that he actually claiming. Because he wasn't claiming your ass in no pictures because he wasn't even in no pictures with you, first of all. And you had to post that you was in this damn Ferrari to tell people about it. I'm just saying. I mean, other than that, like, what they say, doing it for clout? That's what happened? Because it had to be. That's the only thing I can think of as to why, you know what I'm saying, you would come and have an issue with a man that is, for one, not your man. So if that wasn't your man, I don't know why you speaking about it. And if you hadn't spoke with somebody in 2 weeks or seen somebody in 2 weeks, then obviously, clearly, it ain't been your man. And it wasn't your man then, so why the fuck? I mean, if you were selling some pussy and you claimed, because she also claimed that he gave her some money and gifts and things of that nature. You know, people exchange gifts for ass. I don't know what they, you know what I'm saying, what her occupation is or what she does, you know, other than being a socialite. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like somebody's upset. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all sit with that, and then y'all let me know. I'm sure the story is still developing. I had already typed up the notes on this show, like when it first dropped, but something said, "Don't you do it yet?" I know how this works. Of course, everybody want to be high jump on the latest story. In my case, I like to let it develop a little bit because there's always changing things, and then I will have to come back and do a bunch of updates. So we're here now, and come to find out, a possible side piece has arrived, and Porsha then looked stupid and deleted a tweet that she thought was talking about her. And so, anywho, I guess we'll find out how that's gonna go. But it's messy as hell because Porsha know damn well. I mean, mm-mm, mm-mm. But to each his own, that's her business. But at least let the motherfuckers be divorced. I haven't heard of too many people that actually announce their relationship or, you know, them being with somebody else until their divorce is like final or they're completely not living with each other or whatever have you. Just out of respect for each other and out of respect for whatever they got going on. Industry people, they operate a little different from people, you know, that just do this every day at home. I'm not saying they're not regular people, they are, but there's a certain amount being there in the limelight. There's paparazzi and stuff like that. There's news articles like this when I'm doing that come out. They want to try to kind of respect their privacy a little bit more, so these things aren't really out. This, though, is a fucking mess. Period. So, anywho, now let's give you a little background on what's going on with these folks. So, as far as Porsha, you know her grandfather is Hosea Williams of Hosea Feed the Hungry in Atlanta. She joined Real Housewives of Atlanta with Cordell Stewart in season 5 as newlyweds, and then their marriage only lasted 2 years though. Okay, that was, I don't even know how to take that when they was on there. I mean, yeah, it just looked real uncomfortable for both of them. I didn't think neither one of them wanted to be there. I mean, not on the show, in the relationship. Like, it was totally weird. Anyway, Cordell actually did an interview with Tamara Hall in February. And he claimed that Porsha started rumors that he was gay during their divorce. Now, he does also claim that the rumors started in 1998 when he was accused of being arrested after committing lewd acts with other men in the park despite there being no record of the arrest. Now, I need somebody to explain to me how something from the 20th century, that is the 20th century, just to be clear, cannot be... Now, if it's something from the 20th century, I'm trying to figure out how you going to blame somebody else for starting that rumor in the 21st century. Like, well after 10 years later. Like, how did she start the rumor exactly? She brought it back up that you were in that situation, because I recall, like, I do look young, but I'm old enough to have been old enough to know what was going on at that time. I already had kids and everything by 98, so... I'm just saying, in that aspect, you know, he either did or didn't. Just because there was no arrest record of it, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. We know how some things can go away, with a little bit of power. So at the end of the day, depending on how much change you got, your connections and things, certain things can disappear. We know that. That's nothing new. So just because there's no record of the arrest, don't act like it didn't possibly happen. Okay? because there was the rumor mill circulating. Now, whether people knew or realized that that's who that was when he was on the show with Porsha, that's different. We'll leave that up for speculation. But at the end of the day, that was you, boo. And whether they got reports of the arrest or not, that still was you. So here we are. You blaming her for saying you were whatever you may or may not have been back in 98. Way in fucking, like, what, 2016 or something? 20 something. Anyway. Now, keep in mind that because the show is called Housewives, you do need to be married or actually at least be in a relationship with somebody to be on there. So, like, what, unless she was, like, already running cast. So, she was actually, right after that, she ended up getting with Dennis McKinley from 2018 to 2019. And as far as Dennis goes, he actually purchased the original hot dog factory there in Smyrna, Georgia, which is down the street. It's good, by the way, too. Which in about 2015, that was an existing location. Which during COVID, he actually decided to open 15 new locations in 90 days throughout the United States. As well, he's franchising a whole lot of his stores, so he did boom and do that. So. As well. And then I know they're calling out for people that are interested in franchising because they said he has a great franchise model to make sure that you make money. Because even when you franchise, sometimes you don't always make money because the franchise model is not set up right. But he claims his is bomb.com, so he is out here selling that. Now, he recently told 1851 Franchise Publication that our target is to have 100 locations in the next 24 to 36 months. And we have 60 units already committed in cities like Detroit, Philly, and Charlotte, Raleigh, Houston, Dallas, and Baton Rouge. And he also owns the Crew Hemp Lounges as well. And Crew is CRU. So there's the engagement announced. They announced their engagement rather in October of 2018 on Instagram. They're supposed to get married in December 2019. That didn't happen. Because on March 22nd, 2019, they gave birth to Pilar Jenna. And then there was an incident where he admitted to cheating on her while she was pregnant. And they went on therapy about it on the show. She looked like a complete ass, by the way. Okay, so in June of 2019, he was accused of cheating with Wags Atlanta, WAGS. Atlanta star Sincerely Ward, who actually denied that she ever met Dennis. Porsha then unfollowed him for a little bit, refollowed him back, so that was like some news blunder. And also, nobody can really say whether it is or not. I mean, I just think that she's fucking embarrassed at that point. That's why she unfollowed him, but I don't know. In July of 2019, he attempted to make it up to her and promised her to put her in a restaurant called Good Morning. Put that restaurant in her name since it was paid off in cash and open. Once it was paid off in cash and open. I'm not sure if they're still, I know they were delayed opening due to COVID. So it's actually the old Puff and Pedals Lounge that was owned by K. Michelle. So now he's bought that. They had it decorated really cute. The inside and setup is cute. Basically, it's supposed to be an overnight type. From like 3 or 4 in the evening to, or what, I guess even 6 in the evening to maybe 4 in the morning, something like that. It's overnight, as opposed to, you know, because they said the only thing that's open late is Waffle House, so he's trying to change that and take over Waffle Houses, I guess. Anywho, so they also had another incident January 4th as well, 2020, in a Majestic Diner where he was filmed with 4 women while Porsha was not there. Okay, so we know January 4th, you know, that's kind of shitty, and y'all baby ain't even 1 year old. I'm just saying, at the time, you know. Her and Dennis officially separated shortly after that, and she officially announced she was single December the 4th, 2020. Okay, so, yeah, he promised her. The Good Morning Breakfast Bar was actually supposed to open in September 2020 at 367 Edgewood Avenue Southeast. So just to be clear, if you guys want to check out and see if it's open, there you have it. But I don't think it's open as of yet. And then season 13 is actually coming to an end. now, and it got a lot of bad reviews. I do know that part. Nobody liked it. There was filming restrictions, of course. The cast was saying, Candy, I know, was saying that was one of the reasons. There was issues with whatever people were saying wasn't quite up to par with what the previous seasons were, that it was due to COVID. Season 14 is actually set to air in November, and they don't have a cast all the way locked down yet, unfortunately. After this little situation here, Porsha did make sure that she locked herself in for another season, as well as a spinoff show. So coins, coins, and more coins. And some critics feel that it needs to be a drastic shakeup as far as cast goes on the show, just due to the fact that they saying it's kind of boring and they need, you know, some fresh meat in there, which I thought that's what they were doing when they got Phelan on. But due to this, they did spice it up, but it just ended up being a whole hot shitty mess. And then they conveniently waited because, you know, this stuff is filmed months in advance, at least sometimes 3 to 6 months in advance as far as reality shows. At the end of the day, I find it strange that if it's filmed so far in advance that you waited to a certain time to just announce right at the closing of the show to get you another spinoff show that you was with somebody's man that was on the show that they thought was your friend. I don't know if that's pure marketing genius or a hot fucking mess. I'm gonna go with a hot fucking mess because I've noticed that every season that she gets a man, she'll lose a man and then go hurry up and get another one to stay on the show, and then that shit don't last. But she has like them airhead moments sometimes. So I don't know where this is going. I know there's going to be more developing as well, especially with this little honey boo boo child that came out here, you know, that's talking about she was all in the whip and all this here. So I mean, I don't Jessie Cakes. She claimed to be the real Jessica Rabbit, or the original, the it. So, and we already know Jessica Rabbit is a bad bitch, and I did see a picture of her, and she ain't Jessica Rabbit, so I don't know how the fuck that went. But I think she's supposed to be on, you know, some news. She moving around the city, just moving around. We don't know. She's moving around, and she just keep hopping in these different cars. But then come to find out, if you hopping in them and posting them on your Instagram, come to find out that shit ain't even yours. That's crazy. They're a bunch of different niggas. One thing people need to realize, somebody else's stuff is not your stuff. Then when you go and find out they got a woman now, then you looking crazy because you can't get in that car no more. And especially after you posted and telling people that you was in it. Why the, like, wait. Let's be for real. Anywho, let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's LalaMadness Fierce Review. Nah.
Right out the pot, big up the knots. More 4, 5s and 9 than the deck of cards, and they hot. Go up a car, whip out the lot, pull up at Walnut, y'all.